All around the world, stories circulate about mysterious creatures hidden in dark seas, deep forests, and remote mountains. Amazingly often, these accounts are similar, even though they come from completely different cultures. Coincidence? Or an ancient puzzle that points to something real? What if myths are more than just pure fantasy, fragments of a forgotten truth? Perhaps these legends remind us of beings that once truly existed, of creatures that survived in the shadows of history and never completely disappeared. Number 7. The Bloop. In 1997, underwater microphones stationed in the Pacific registered an extraordinary sound. It was so loud that it could be measured over thousands of kilometers. At first, the source could not be clearly identified, but the acoustic power was enormous, greater than anything even a blue whale could produce. The theory quickly arose that a gigantic, as yet undiscovered sea creature was responsible for the phenomenon. The myth of the Bloop was born and fascinated both the media and researchers alike. Years later, science demystified the riddle. The sounds most likely came from massive icebergs breaking apart in Antarctica, generating powerful pressure waves in the water. A natural, yet still impressive explanation. Nevertheless, the idea of gigantic sea creatures is not entirely far-fetched. In Earth's history, there really were enormous fish like Letictis, which grew up to 16 meters long. With their enormous mouths and numerous gill arches, they looked like monsters. Yet they fed exclusively on tiny plankton organisms, much like today's baleen whales. So perhaps the Bloop was just ice. But the idea that something undiscovered still lurks somewhere in the depths of the oceans is hard to dismiss. Number 6. Mokele Mbembe. In the dense rainforest of the Congo Basin, locals tell stories of a mysterious creature, the Mokele Mbembe. It is said to have a long neck, a massive body, and the strength to block rivers, much like a prehistoric sauropod. Researchers and adventurers have repeatedly set out in search of it, but proof of its existence has never been found. Such legends exist all over the world. In Australia, people know of the bunyip, a water-dwelling creature said to spread terror. In South America, there are tales of the mapinguari, a giant fur-covered animal from the depths of the jungle. Number 5. Jatayu. In the Hindu Ramayana tradition, we encounter Jatayu, a giant vulture who embodies courage and self-sacrifice. When the goddess Sita is abducted by the demon king Ravana, the aged bird fearlessly confronts the powerful adversary. In the heroic battle, Jatayu is gravely wounded. His deed is still regarded today as a symbol of mythological bravery and loyalty. Giant birds also play a special role in other cultures. In tales from the Middle East, the roc, known from 1001 Nights, even carries elephants through the skies. In North American mythology, the thunderbird is considered a sacred being that creates thunder and hurls lightning, a symbol of natural force and spiritual power. Such myths may have real-life inspirations. One possible candidate, Argentavis magnificens, a prehistoric bird of prey with a wingspan of up to 7 meters. It lived millions of years ago in South America and was one of the largest flying birds in Earth's history. Perhaps fossils or ancient reports of it once sparked the imagination and thus became the origin of stories about flying giants. Number 4. Direwolf. Fenrir, the giant wolf from Norse mythology, is considered a symbol of destruction and chaos. As the son of Loki, he is destined to kill the father of the gods, Odin, during Ragnarok, a creature that even gods fear. But such stories about eerie giant wolves are not only found in the far north. In Japan, people tell of the Okuri Inu, a mystical dog-like creature that accompanies nighttime travelers, sometimes protectively, sometimes threateningly. In North America, meanwhile, the Shunka Warakin, a wolf-like monster, is said to hunt through the darkness, attacking livestock and spreading fear. What's fascinating is that, in the real world, there actually was a wolf that comes eerily close to these legends, the dire wolf, Canis dirus. It lived during the Ice Age in North America, was larger and more muscular than today's wolves, and hunted giant prey in packs. Fossils from sites like the La Brea tar pits provide impressive evidence of its existence. A fearsome predator, real and powerful, perhaps the dire wolf was the origin of more than just one dark tale. Number 3. Giant lions. The first great trial of Hercules, the Nemean lion, a gigantic, invulnerable creature with impenetrable fur. No sword, no spear could harm it. Hercules killed it with his bare hands. He strangled it and from then on wore its pelt as indestructible armor. Thus, the lion became a symbol of strength, courage, and immortality. Other cultures also revered or feared lions. In Mesopotamia, Gilgamesh fights against them. In Africa, they are still considered the kings of animals today. In the Middle Ages, lions adorned countless coats of arms, flags, and tales of heroes. But they also existed in the real prehistoric era. The American lion was the largest known big cat, up to 25% bigger than today's African lion. Likewise, the European cave lion and the famous saber-toothed cat Smilodon shaped the image of the ultimate predator, powerful, wild, and majestic. These animals may have laid the roots for many myths about lions, stories that still speak of power, danger, and greatness today. Perhaps the Nemean lion was not just a legend, but an echo of something that truly roamed the forests and plains. Number 2. Dragons. Hardly any mythical creature is as universally widespread as the dragon. In China, they are considered bringers of good luck, symbols of wisdom, strength, and imperial power. In the West, on the other hand, they often appear as menacing, fire-breathing monsters like Smaug from The Hobbit or the Lindworm in Central European legends. Their forms may vary, but the fascination remains. Scaly bodies, massive wings, deadly breath. Other cultures also know of dragon-like creatures. The Egyptians feared Apophis, a chaos serpent that threatened the solar bark every night. In the Bible, Leviathan appears, a sea dragon of gigantic proportions. The Babylonians knew Tiamat, a primordial dragon goddess, symbolizing the primeval flood and creation. Many scientists suspect that these stories arose from the discovery of dinosaur fossils. A gigantic skull with teeth and claws, for early humans, that must have been a monster. A real animal that looked astonishingly similar to a dragon was Quetzalcoatlus, the largest known flying predator of prehistoric times. With a wingspan of up to 11 meters, a long neck and a beak-like head, it glided silently through the skies of the Cretaceous period. Perhaps it is the closest thing reality has ever come to a dragon. Number 1. Siren Head. A gaunt humanoid body with loudspeakers instead of a head was created by the artist Trevor Henderson and spread rapidly across the internet. Siren Head. The combination of mechanical coldness and organic movement, its eerie vocalizations, and the unease it provokes have made it a modern icon of terror. But Siren Head is not alone. Similar figures can be found in the mythology of many peoples. The Wendigo, for example, from the traditions of the Algonquin, lures its victims into the wilderness by mimicking voices. The Japanese Tofukoso appears harmless, carrying only a tray of tofu. Yet its appearance is considered ominous. Such beings do not rely on brute force, but on psychological horror, on what we cannot see or do not understand. And sometimes there is even a real-life counterpart, the Tullimonstrum. This bizarre 300-million-year-old marine creature with sideways eyes and a trunk-like appendage remains difficult to classify to this day. Was it a mollusk, a vertebrate, or something completely different? Nature also produces forms that seem so alien that they rival even the boldest horror stories.